Hare Krishna. Good morning. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. Welcome, everybody. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Jesus Prabhupada. Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Jesus. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, oh Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada. Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Jesus Prabhupada, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Shri Advaita 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 Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, my Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Anyway, come on there, River. I've been trying to get you on. I do this and this. It's disturbing. Just chant with us now. You were on a long time, 2 times today. So if you can't get on this, just say it's Krishna. Okay? Krishna. I've even tried myself to get you on. It's not working. Krishna doesn't obviously not let you on. So just sit here and chant Hare Krishna with us. Okay? And everybody's looking at what you're saying and your anxieties and all that stuff, man. I've tried myself. It's like to chant and take shelter of the holy name. Everybody should be doing that if you really want help in this world. Things are coming down the pipe fast. Better get the shelter. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Okay, I don't have no idea what's going on, but I find it disturbing, with this commotion here. Why is this commotion? What's the point? The class is shared. I shared it with all kinds of people. Just sit down and let's hear some Harikatha, you know? Yeah, let's chill out. See, this kind of stuff is like, you know, maybe that's Karuna, it could be Karuna. He's kind of like, his energy's like that. I don't know, picture this. We're sitting here chanting, taking shelter, holy name, and somebody, I want to get on the class. Come on, man. On Twitter, yeah, there must be Karuna. See, that's the kind of agitating energy, and Twitch, hey man, you get Krishna conscious. What? Go ahead. What's happening?
Yamuna said in her class that
What?
Yamuna said in her own class that it was difficult for her to come on the stream, so it's her. There is a problem, technical problems.
What do you mean the stream? The stream? What? Here? I
Here,
mean,
come,
online.
join here.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's not working. So I try. She goes on another thing. Another icon. Now she comes on to this one, and I put it anyway. I've been trying, and so if it's not working, it's Krishna. Okay, just and sit there and enjoy the class, man. At least otherwise it's just all. I feel like I'm on a bumpy plane or something. Ah, I was not asking for Ari. Yeah, I know, but still, yeah. Anyway, I'm seeing these things here. We're all part of this, and I don't know why. What was happening with other people, But I tried. I went there trying to put you on here. It just didn't work. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's start. Let's try it. See what happens here. So, okay, why don't you read, Lalita, why don't you read chapter 12 of the Adi Lila,
Okay.
Chaitanya Charitamrita?
The expansions of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhara Pandita.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Sri Advaita. Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. The followers of Sri Advaita Prabhu. There is a big echo. Sorry, Guru Maharaj.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's try this.
The followers of Sri Advaita Prabhu. Yeah, that's good. The followers of Sri Advaita Prabhu were of two kinds. Some were real followers, and the others were false. Rejecting the false followers, I offer my respectful obeisances.
You know, people don't know what the real followers are. Now they're starting to find out because it hasn't been revealed. See, mainly the false followers have been in charge of the disciplined line. It's almost kind of like political parties, you know. You got the Democrats. The Democrats are all communists. They're very communistic and very totalitarian, just really like that. And then there's the right wing, you know. It's kind of like that, only transcendentally. See, so the followers of Dwaita were following the transcendental path, the confidential teachings, the postgraduate. What Prabhupada said was postgraduate. They were following the path of prema and these principles that were actually taught by Lord Caitanya, that actually were not really revealed on the Vaidhi. They can't understand those principles unless they come to a point where they're you just admit you just don't know all about. See, that's the problem. They study a little bit and the false ego gets energized and they think, wow, now we're Krishna conscious. Now we know everything about Krishna. Those are the false followers. All the way up into every Sangha I've seen so far were basically more or less the false followers. The real followers have what you see is going on in this Sangha. They actually have real ecstasy. And therefore they understand these confidential principles. See Bhagavad Gita 10:10, to those who worship the Lord with prema, to them they understand the real essential path. Okay? Otherwise, the, that's the false follower. So the majority of people in religion or trying to understand God are usually false followers. They're like the Pharisees. They had their followers. Jesus had 11, and they had thousands. Or millions. People follow. That's the same thing in Vaishnavism. Brought up to the point of religion, and so most are false followers. It's just a fact. You don't believe it? Well, you're part of the sheep of the world. They're all like that. They go with the herd. Well, what do you mean false followers? Look, you're just, I had people leave here, because they thought, Gohari, you only got 5 followers, man. My Guru Dev now, my new Guru Dev, Narayan Raj, has thousands. See, they think like that. The numbers, it's all in the numbers. The herd, follow the herd. The numbers, they don't follow what are the qualities of a real follower of Lord Chaitanya. Nobody even asked that question. If they did, and you're discussing this in the right place with real devotees, you'll come to the conclusive understanding of what is a real follower. But nobody does that except here. Yeah, we become more and more conclusive all the time. That's the beauty of these classes. That's the power of them. and those who come and listen, you become freed from all this ignorance that is binding even Vaishnavas. So many are bound by so much ignorance. They don't even know who is a real devotee. They're following all these false followers just because they were born in lines. Their father and their grandfather was supposedly in the line. They said called the seminal disciplic lines. They think like that. People, that's a worldly thinking. See? That's the thing. And everybody, even when you come here, the point where you start to really make advancement is when you stop speculating and you just hear. You hear, see, because what you're hearing is what gives me life. See, what gives me life are the conclusive understanding in the Vedas that's I've ascertained by a lot of ecstatic worship for a long time. See? And you're hearing them. If you speculate on it, then you come to another understanding that doesn't get you to the kingdom very quickly. See, it's just like that. So ultimately, in Vaishnavism, you need to find the real followers of Lord Caitanya. Then you're in the real line. And the real followers have symptoms. They have what you read about. They're ecstatic, they cry, they laugh, they choke up when they worship God. That's why the Lord came here to bring here. He brought this ecstatic worship to us so we can take shelter of it. It's wonderful to have that shelter. My God, it makes everything work. People are blinded of what's going on in this world now. If they actually realize it, they would faint. They would really, really faint what is on tap for the world now. That's why most people are just in unawareness. They have no idea what is going on now in this world. The only way I've actually got through it, because I've been studying it all, is because of ecstatic worship. Otherwise, I'd be shaking in my friggin' boots. And this is all. That's why people are just—they're like, when the sheep's are going to slaughter. This is what's happening in the world. They're just being led down over a cliff, being led, herded like a big herd. And so, that's why people are in unawareness. And I just say it because to give you perspective, and that's why the shelter is here. Because more and more people are becoming aware of what's going on here in this world, really, and what kind of time we're actually in. Even Jesus talked about it. You can read what he said, man. He said, "Woe unto those at that time." That means great sorrow for those at this time, but not for us, because if you've really got the shelter of the Lord, he protects you from those sorrows. No more sadness. You feel how the sadness is going? And we came here sad. Our sadness is going more and more. People, you come here. That's one of the great boons is you don't have the sorrows. Because you understand the mind of Jesus and Lord Chaitanya and the real followers. Don't fear those who can kill the body, but those who can kill the soul. And nobody can kill the soul, but you can be cut off from what is spirit, and that's like killing the soul. It stays in this cycle here, unaware and just considering itself a body. Yeah. Yeah, so the real followers now, see, everything is being revealed. The demons are being revealed, the good people are being revealed, and the devotees, real devotees, are being revealed, separated from the false followers. Actually, like when Moses was preaching and he saw these people going on the wrong path, the left-handed way, he said, okay, division. Okay, those who want to live, come over here. You want to go to destruction, go over there. So we're at that point now. You guys, I'm talking about ISKCON, Gaudiya Math. You're going and you're going to take another birth, all of you. You're false followers, man. And if you're a real follower, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll be following the path of prema. you'll be a recipient of mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And as far as I've ascertained, most aren't. The mercy of Lord Chaitanya is your ecstatic devotee, like the people coming here. Many are ecstatic already. That's being saved. That's the rapture. That's the resurrection. The Lord has been resurrected in you. You feel, you're looking at the transcendental form of Krishna every day and having shelter of that Krishna. Just like Mother Yashoda. She, even though she's the parent of Krishna, she has a shelter of Krishna because she's looking at the real Krishna. And she has that bond of devotion. No, you're not good with that? We'll go out with the false followers, man. They're going out. They're being taken out. Time for the birds and the bees, man. And the flowers and the trees. Yeah, and if you want to live, come over here. And live means not just your body being alive. What is that? Your soul, man. That's life. The resurrection is the resurrection of the soul. Yeah? Otherwise, you're not living life. Raising dead bodies. BFD. The Lord raised a dead body. He raised a dead body. And the person says, "Oh, what lifetime am I in?" Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, it's my time to go. So I'm gonna. He just went on. The Lord didn't keep him alive even. Just raise him to teach about transcendental knowledge, and then he went on. This time he said, "My time here is finished." So he's moving on. Turn comments on. Comments are on. Let's see. The soul is here. I see every day. Yeah. Yeah. So read on there.
So I offer my respectful obeisances and to, and to Ajita Acharya and to his real followers whose life and soul of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Say that one again. I missed
You want me to repeat?
it. Yeah, repeat it.
So I offer my respectful obeisances unto Advaita Acharya and to his real followers, whose life and soul was Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, you see, life and soul was Lord Chaitanya. See, again, you got to go beyond the two-dimensional picture. Just the word. You got to go beyond the word, into the word. You got to go into the word. Whose life and soul? See, my respectful obeisances to the real followers of Advaita Acharya, whose life and soul was Lord Chaitanya. See, Advaita was like the true vine. See, connected to the real life and soul. And if you were a real follower of Advaita, you would get Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Krishna combined. See, love of God. You would have love of God if you were a real follower of Advaita. But not everybody was. Just like here, we don't have all real followers. You see how the Lord holds himself back from people who are not yet real followers. It's so funny. It's just, I was thinking about this. I said, Lord, you really know everything. You really know the hearts of everyone. You wait for them to be right in their heart before he's going to give himself to somebody. See? So he knows your heart, man. And if you wonder, why am I not ecstatic? Well, the Lord knows your heart, man. Yeah. Or he'll just give you the rays. What do you call it? They call it para attachment. You just get the rays and you just get the rays. But if you get too far away from that, you dry up. Like some people just get the rays. He gives it a little taste there, and then they because their hearts aren't right, and he knows that, they go off for a while, or maybe a whole lifetime. They just get the raise, They don't. It doesn't internalize. It doesn't fully give himself. See, because if he does, then he's in you, right? And even if you're alone, you chant Hare Krishna, and ecstasy comes, and he'll be with you forever. That kind of Lord, he's like that.
Continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Prabhu. And all glories, all of them are glorious. I offer my respectful obeisances to the all glorious.
Yeah, the life and soul. See, all glories to the devotees whose life and soul is Lord Chaitanya. That is the proof. See, if your life and soul is really Lord Chaitanya or Radha and Krishna or God, if that's true, then you'll know that Satchidananda presence. That will emanate from you. That ecstasy, that bliss, see, that kind of God energy, like the God Prince of the true Lord, will come from you. There's no way that's why people can't distinguish it. Very hard unless you hear from an experienced person that has that in them. The Lord is actually in them. When they're in the Lord, when they're chanting, they get the grace, and the Lord awakens in them and gives him knowledge, understanding, personal experience of the truth. See? That's the kind of guru you need. That's the kind of association you need in this world. Otherwise, you're associating with people that's why they're externally orientated. They're all looking out there. See, they're all attached to out there, even all the way into religion. They're all attached to that. Go look at the Pope, man. Attached outside, everything outside, worldly domination, worldly control, everything out there. See, because the Lord ain't in there. See, this is where you get the knowledge, man. Satchidananda, whose life and soul. You need to listen to those whose life and soul is Lord Caitanya. That means they got Radha and Krishna and they're living. They're balanced. They're whole. They teach you how to do that too. That's the idea to go to such a master. They teach you how to be like that. See? Now you're self-sufficient. Now you know how to connect to the true self and get energy and get life there. You don't have to use people as batteries like the Matrix. The demons are so devoid of their own energy. It's even though I study the demons, I study the lizard people. They have no creativity. They depend on the people to be creative. That's what they're doing now. You see all this stuff they do, all the science, all that, they don't have it themselves. They're dependent on the technologists. Even on the financial system, they have like this crypto thing. Everything's going cryptos. Everything is going to be on blockchain. And they can't do it themselves. These demoniac persons they're not creative. They have to depend on the creative of these people, like the intelligent people and stuff like that. They get everything going and then they get rid of them. See, this is the world. See, this is the survival of the fittest. Might is right. All that stuff is going on in this world. See? But that's like a disease. It's a horrible condition. It's a very terrible thing, and it's not necessary. So now we're moving into a new world order, a new age, but it's not like that. They think it's the Lord. Just we're proof of that. There are many. There's other devotees around too. They know. Matter of fact, if they listen, they'll understand what we're talking about. It's like I understand those who are connected deeply with Christ. I can get them. They have a devotional understanding. Without devotion, this whole world is useless. That's the problem now. That's why it's kind of being destroyed. without devotion, even the good or the bad people. See, there's a lot of good people in this world, but they don't have devotion yet. They're just good. And the bad, they prey on each other. The good hate the bad, they get energy from that, see? And the bad hate the good. They get energy. This is their thing, it's a ras. But where's the devotion? No pure devotion. See? That's the only thing that's really important to the Lord. We're in his body. We're in God's body. And he's like, oh, no devotion there? That's why it all took one devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, to be in this universe. Real pure devotee. And the Lord saved the whole thing from one person. That's the moral of the story. That's how important the devotee. Look at Jesus Christ, one person. One person! Look how many people are taking shelter of that one person. Shows you how rare such devotees are. Just to be a follower, a devotee of such a devotee, you're in this exalted position. It's amazing, this whole thing, See, so the real followers are connected to the true God. The true God is spiritual, transcendental to all the modes of nature. See? That's all here in this Sangha here. That connection is here. And everything else I've seen is like more or less religion. And it's at best Raganuga Bhakti, but it's religion disguised as Raganuga Bhakti. Because it's so hard to, what we have here is so hard to attain. It's either here or not. And if it's here, you just got to get it. Don't worry about who Gaurahari's guru is. Just grab the mercy. You don't go up to Jesus and say, who's your guru, man? You just get the mercy. You don't go up to Nityananda and say, who's your guru? Because you also wouldn't find out. Just go, he's got the bliss, and you just bow down to that mercy. Bow down to Satchidananda manifestation on this planet. The same thing, Lord Caitanya, he was initiated by a Mayavadi sannyasi, disciplic line. And one of his followers told Sarvabhauma, said, oh, that's a low-class sampradaya. And he said, no, just, he's not dependent on being initiated or non-initiated. He just does whatever he wants to do. He decided to take initiation that way, and he did. But just bow down to the mercy, man. Just grab the mercy because it's there. So those who are ready for it, you come here. Don't worry about who my guru is. I've had 5 or so of them, and I just, none of them added anything to me. Just the book added so much more, but not everybody's like that. I got ecstasy from the Bible. I got ecstasy from the Vedas. All I needed to do is contact those rare devotees, And now that you come here, you become like that too. But without, one candle lighting other candles, there would be no lit candles here. It's always worked like that. That's why the Lord comes here. That's why his devotees come here. Otherwise, there's no hope for this world. There's no devotion, no hope. These other paths are so slow and everything, and you still got to meet a Savior at some point. Savior is those who are connected to the tree of life, man. Love for that transcendental Lord. That's the only thing real in this world. Freddie says, so go ahead there, read on there.
I offer my respectful obeisances to the all glorious Meta Prabhu. There's a big echo.
Sorry. Just tell me what it is.
Yeah, you don't hear it maybe, but I think the listeners will hear it. I offer my respectful obeisances. Obeisance to the all glorious Advaita Prabhu, who forms the second branch of the eternal Chaitanya tree, and to his followers, who form his sub-branches. See, Advaita Prabhu was the second big branch of the tree. There are many sub-branches, but it's impossible to mention them all. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was also the gardener and has and as he poured the water of his mercy on the tree, all the branches and sub-branches, they grew day
Yeah, yeah.
after day.
Day after day. What's that mercy? See, he poured the water of his mercy. That's his love, man. His happiness, his bliss. See, that's the mercy. That's how we grow and flourish. See, if that wasn't poured on us, we'd be dry. We'd be these dead branches. See, and when we're ready to be delivered, the Lord empowers devotees to deliver his devotees. People looking for this water. In a sense, everybody is, and that's why they're externally orientated. But sometimes they're too much so that they can't. They're just caught up in that. They can't even look over here. They're too attached to power. That's the whole thing. See, demoniac means usually too attached. You're too attached to power. You're too attached to wealth, and you become corrupted. You'll do anything for that. You'll lie. You'll cheat. People will come up to you and give you a bag of money, and you won't have any principles. You just give them up. See, and you become like as bad as your masters. You ever see these movies of the devil coming and tempting people and tricking them and lying to them and all that? Well, that's the way. That's Maya. She's always making things seem better than they are and trying to trap you, and deceive you and all that. That's all going on now. All these it's and that deceptions is being more and more revealed, where even more and more like people that have been trapped in that are realizing, wow, we're being trapped in this. And they're trying to make it so the Maya makes it so like if you're not if you if you don't wake up in time, it's too late. It could be too late, but it is what it is. You come here, you wake up, and you wake up your soul. That's the main thing. You wake Krishna up. It's like the cowherd boys. They go to Vrindavan and they jump on Krishna's bed to wake him up, so that they can play. That's what I feel like I do every day. When the chanting, I come here every day and wake Krishna up, so that we can play. Play together. Play together. See, by playing together, we stay together. See, by playing together, I get Krishna's association. I share it with others. See? This is basically it. That's why it becomes like an effortless, like breathing. It's preaching, breathing, relishing, energizing, eating. Becomes like it's spiritually. This is what we're meant to do. This is the Lord came to fill the universe with this kind of maintenance program. See? You're maintained by relishing, maintained by the word. It's just amazing. I was chanting this morning. I was realizing, my God, just by chanting, I'm just under the shelter of the Lord. It's like the Lord coming through me and creating this wonderful umbrella, and I'm just sitting under it in great happiness. To me, that is it, man. God, everybody's, otherwise the Maya gives you the illusion, and they come up and these liars, these Trudeaus, come in and say, hey, you do this and you'll be safe. You'll be safe. And everybody's so uncertain about life, so afraid that, oh, is that what your safety is? What, to go in my house and put masks on and being injected and all that, find safety. Really? Yeah, do that. See, you're looking for the safety, but that's natural to the soul. Our soul is naturally looking for safety, but unfortunately, we're bodily identified and we look over to Maya for that safety. It never works out. But man, this is fantastic. Because even if the body, because who knows? There's an imminent nuclear attack. Everybody's talking about it. I don't know if you guys heard it. Maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. You guys are in the right position, man. Be under the shelter. Then whatever. Okay, yeah, all that. But hey, man, I have the safety because we're eternal anyway, and now you know it. It's nice. The pain is being unaware of that you're not eternal. That puts you in a painful situation. It puts you in fear and all these horrible rasas of the world. Fear, anxiety. This is a ras actually, but it's a very degraded thing. It's for those who identify with themselves as a body. But look at the happiness of tasting this ras of Krishna's name. Wow, or his pastimes, or it's speaking about the absolute truth. What a breath of fresh air. Now you're alive. See, that's Sadhu Sangha, man. That's why Krishna said, I'm very easily attained in Sadhu Sangha. You can't attain me by renunciations. And attain me is that Satchidananda. I'm attained just by association with Satchidananda. That's why I empower. My representatives represent Satchidananda. That's Krishna. They're little Krishna in this world, empowered Krishna. You find out what is Krishna's nature, and by associating with Krishna's nature, you start to get Krishna's nature and Radha's, devotees' natures in the Vrindavan. There's no other practical way. Even Briha Bhagavatamrita, when Gopakumara attained Vrindavan, the transcendental, he said he began to get a nature like the devotees there just by being there in that land, by association. Well, that's what you get even more in Sadhu Sangha now. Then it was fine. He went there and he got there and with real devotees, and his nature became like theirs. Well, that's Sadhu Sangha. You can do all kinds of renunciations and disciplines and meditations and regulative devotional service and everything. And just a retard can come here into this association and their nature will change more than yours will. These people don't know that principle. Well, I'm here to teach you, hey man, you're barking up the wrong tree. Come bark at this tree. Yeah, if you need to bring your, look, I'm coming in your territory, man. Bark over here, man. You know how dogs, you come in the territory, I'm coming in your territory, man. Just like Krishna, he jumped into the territory that Kaya claimed. Just like these religionists in Vaishnavism, they've claimed Krishna's real Vrindavan as their territory, and they've poisoned it. Well, the Lord is jumping into your river, man. Bark over here, man. I don't want to perceive. I don't want to say, I want you to bark over here, man. That's our job. Bark up this tree. Otherwise, I'm here to serve Prabhupada. He has a lot of disciples. He wants them to advance. They have a lot of faith in him. He has a lot of devotees, man. They've given their lives and all of that. We're not going to let that go to waste. We're going to use this great. We're not going to let a good crisis like this manifesto, this blockbuster, Hollywood blockbuster coming down the pipe, man, to go to waste. No, this is going to be a great show, man. Great show of transcendental force, energy, transcendental life, bliss, ecstasy. We'll have Lalita chanting and laughing at the illusion. Pissing them off, pissing the illusion off. See, that's when she's laughing, you know what she's really doing? She's wee-wee She's taking a little whiz on the illusion.
On the plates.
On the plate. The real devotees are just all around. You just have to see them. Yes, I'm kind of a person who will jump in a river. Tracy Chapman. The real devotees are all around. Real devotees. People that, this, see, those sayings are done. Yeah, it sounds good. Mode of goodness. But she doesn't. I can look at that and she doesn't know the transcendental nature. See, now if I would say that, I could say from a Maha perspective, full, I'd say, yeah, everyone's a devotee, yeah. But that's imitating that. See, that person can't lead you quickly into the kingdom. You got to go into the mode of goodness for a while and still be bewildered because that doesn't point the way. Oh, everyone's a devotee. They're all around, and you go associate with some demons and everything, and your consciousness goes down there because they tricked you, lied to you, and deceived you. Oh, they do that very well. Putin did. She was very good. You do that in religion. Those gurus, you think they're real gurus? Are these guys? I met them. I talked to them. I've seen them stab me in the back. Oh, me. Anyway, in this life stream. You know, see, this is the Putanas, the deceptive thing of Maya. You can't. She deceives everyone until you get the real shelter. See? You come unto those who have the shelter of the Lord, and then you found the real path. You go in the door, and then you know how to get in, and you can lead other people in the real door. See, your preaching becomes the real door. Your testimony becomes the real door for people. Otherwise, they're going barking up the wrong trees. In other words, Maya is misleading everybody, cheating everybody. That's why you see these books. I'm just so happy to preach them now. So great. I pay my obeisances to genuine liberated souls, not schmucks, not people hiding the path. Not liars and cheaters, not anybody sitting on a high throne, and saying, I'm Guru Dev, but they can't deliver you. They can't take you to Vrindavan, but they say they can. I don't pay obeisances to hypocrites or hypocrisy. I'm not here to teach that. That's the problem. People have been because they don't have transcendental knowledge. They don't have clear understanding. They don't have conclusive truth. They think they can worship just anybody as Guru Dev and go back to Vrindavan. Or somebody who's playing the part. Well, he's just, been around and he followed the program, we think, and our committee decided to make them gurus. We voted them in. Don't you know that's the right way? That ain't conclusive. No. You have to have the symptoms of being connected to the true Lord Caitanya tree, and nobody manifests that I've seen. Well, where are the symptoms that you're connected? Where you've got the mercy of Lord Caitanya? You don't even define what that is. We're the best at defining these things. What does it mean to have the mercy of Lord Caitanya? What does it mean to have Lord Caitanya as your life and soul? Nobody knows. Therefore, the world's going to hell because of it, because they lack knowledge. They don't even understand the song they sing every day for 40 years in ISKCON. From them, ecstatic prema emanates. Yeah, how many of your gurus does ecstatic prema emanate from? By their word, ignorance is destroyed. Well, how many of their words has destroyed your ignorance? I think only this word destroys ignorance because it exposes them. They can't expose themselves. They can't even expose themselves to themselves, much less you. I don't care how good a person they are, good Brahmins they are. They ain't good enough, man. You need to be delivered by deliverers, those who are empowered with the transcendental potency. We're here to teach all about it, man. Teach who God really is. Isn't that a concept? People think, what, you can teach who God is? Yep, that's what we do. Because God is living in our temples. Many of us, we have the Lord alive and kicking ass, man. Kicking his Maya out. First, he kicks that Maya out of our temples, and he starts kicking Maya out of other people's temples. He becomes the bully on the block. He bullies his own Maya. Hey, we're taking over. The new mafia, transcendental mafia, man. Yeah, go ahead there, Lalita.
So, as the fruits of love got echoed,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
the fruits of love of Godhead that grow on those branches of the Chaitanya tree, they were so large that they floated.
I have to stop you there because I just read that and that is so wonderful. See, the fruits on the Chaitanya tree, that means if you're really in touch with the Chaitanya tree, you get these fruits. And because that tree is transcendental and that's the only really pure thing, if you're eating from that tree, that bread of life, really, really eating it and relishing it and tasting it and surrender to it, fruits come from it. That's what distinguishes it from anything else. See, the fruits of true knowledge, the fruits of ecstatic worship, the happiness of devotees. So large. See, great knowledge comes from that tree. Great ecstasy comes from that tree. Satchidananda, what else is there really? What are people after in the world? People think knowledge is a great. Look at the Illuminati. Look at the Masons. They're what they know is their great secret. See, but that's the win-lose trip. That knowledge is still ignorance. The Lord, he taught Uddhava this mystic knowledge and stuff, which is shit like that. And you know what he said? He said, Uddhava, don't follow that because it'll just develop the false ego. Don't follow that path. That's Illuminati. See, they treasure knowledge. What else? And they treasure happiness, but it's mundane, material. Or even their false prestige. They think, oh, okay, we got all our money, all the sense gratification. What's next? See, what's next is power, influence, control. See? But it's all mundane and material. It makes a win lose. It's just so it's it's so degraded. But they can't get out of it, and that's all they think. That's what they're doing to do. See, that's the evil. See, the evil. They're misunderstanding and misdirected, doing things that are not beneficial for the world. They are. They think it is, or they don't. They think, well, if it's good for us, we think we're stronger, we're smarter. These guys are so stupid. But it's usually their education makes people stupid. They make people. See that ignorance. They want to be dominant. See, so you do bad things to people. You give them bad food, bad water, right? Isn't that what they've done? See, that's what Maya does. It's always win-lose. We got to weaken you because so we can become strong and dominate. This. That's why. Are you ready to get out of this situation? We're out of it here. This is like for crows. It's a crow life for everybody, even the demigods who live in crow lives. Eventually, they got to come back down here and deal with these demons. Even up there, they got it. Sometimes, see, the Lord empowers the demons and they come up into heaven and take over there. Even now, this war here, you think it's only the human beings. We're like just the avatars here. It's heaven is raging with hell right now. Yeah, Paul knew this. St. Paul talked about this. The heavens are shaken. This is principalities, and we're like the avatars, being used. The good people are being used and by the demigod types, and the demons are being used by the hellish beings. But who are we being used by? See? Well, we're a chess piece. See? We're actually the king. Everything else is more of a pawn, but we're the kings and queens. See, because the kings and queen lives in us. He empowers us to be. See, the king and queen, we have the best path. We have the way out. We have the most power for everybody. And we're win-win, not win-lose. See, the demons are afraid of the demigods because they're going to lose, right? And the demigods are afraid of the demons and hate them because they're afraid they're going to lose. See, because they're win-lose, both parties. The opposite is always going to lose. Here, the king and queen have so much power. Radha and Krishna, their love, so much power. It's all win-win for everybody. That's the new world order. That's only a reflection. When I see that, it's the Lord shows me. Yeah, you see this is what I want. This is what's going to happen. That's my desire, to fill the whole universe with love of Krishna. Didn't he say that? Didn't we read that? My name is Vishwabhar. And that will be realized when I can fill the whole universe. Not just this world, the universe with love of Krishna. That's the new world. What do you need any government other than being governed by the love of Radha and Krishna? What a perfect government. What perfect energy source. No more you have to take battery energy from these little small batteries. You need so many. You see in the Matrix, they have billions of souls as batteries. Why don't you just go to the source of all those batteries? You go right to the source, direct connection. It's life, man. Energy, knowledge, bliss, ecstasy, increasing every day. Shelter, like it's like feeling cool in hell. And we got the coolest sangha in this hellish place in this world. Coolest. Really, it's cool here, man. In many ways, it's way cool. Yeah, go ahead, Lily.
Cool, but still the flame is burning. They flooded the entire world with love of Krishna. As the trunk and branches were watered, the branches and sub-branches, they spread lavishly. And the tree grew full with fruits and flowers. At first, all the
Oh, I'm
followers.
sorry. I was going to say, I said, read, yeah, I didn't say, you didn't hear. Read that thing again, what you just read.
Great, yeah.
Both verses.
Yeah. The fruits of love of God that grew on those branches of the Chaitanya tree, they were so large that they flooded the entire world with love of Krishna. As the trunk and branches were watered, the branches and the branches, they spread lavishly, and the tree grew full with fruits and flowers.
Yeah, isn't it? See, as the trunk and the branches were watered, remember it says the Lord is the supreme enjoyer. See, the trunk and the branches. The branch partakes of the trunk's happiness. See? So how do you water the trunk and the branches? See, this is Sadhu Sangha, this is Hari Katha, this is talking about Krishna, chanting Krishna's name. It's watering the trunk and the branches. It's the only water for Krishna. See, the devotees they live off of Krishna's happiness. They live on his pleasure. His pleasure is to be intimate with his devotees. The devotee's pleasure is to be intimate with Krishna. These exchanges. See, and as the trunks and the branches were watered, see, people become branches, but this is why the preaching, it's a preaching mission, is you water the branches as you're preaching, as you're talking about Krishna. This is the real religion of the age, is first to become attached to Krishna. You get real Bhakti Lata Bij, not some, yeah, Prabhupada said in the teaching on the Bhakti Lata Bij, which is this transcendental attachment to Krishna. See, he said not every disciple gets Bhakti Lata Bij. Some get Gyan Bij. They get some superficial like attachment to study of the Vedas. See, knowledge, but it's not real the knowledge that comes from Bhakti. See, Bhakti Lata Bij means you get your knowledge from taste, from tasting the name and the pastimes and the knowledge, tasting the truth. It's got a taste to it. It's transcendental. See, so that's Bhakti Lata Bij. That's what you get from a real guru if that's what you want. See, a lot of people they just no, I don't want that. I want to be a big teacher. I don't want to go through the real purification of the false ego and burn it up so I can taste more of that. No, I want to stop here and become like a teacher. See, I want that Gyan Bij. It's not bhakti. See, real devotees, we go, and the false ego burns up, we empty out, see, and more taste for Krishna develops and more knowledge of Krishna simultaneously develops. You preach that. See, this makes more branches. See, this gives life to the dead branches. A lot of people, they're perishing in this world for lack of this water. And some are really looking for it. Some they get the alleged water from Maya, all these different things of Maya, even in religion. That's not the real water yet. In ISKCON, they're not watering like this. See, this is the water. This is the water. This gives you. That's why they can't understand what I'm talking about or you're talking about. They don't like this ecstasy. In other words, they're just not ready to get real life yet. They're it's like, hey, man, we don't believe that's real life. We believe going to with the big degrees out, the external degrees, the big Acharya Devs with the PhDs. We believe their life is there. No, that's not real life. This is real life. This is the real. This is who you're worshiping. This is who Acharya Dev is worshiping. The real Krishna, the real devotees, but they don't know it. They hear but don't hear. They speak but don't. They're dumb. They don't speak words of life. Words of life come from bhakti. By relishing mellows, we as devotees come and do this, and you worship and you relish Krishna's presence like this. Now you have something to say, something to talk about, something to share with the world that has substance and value. Otherwise, everybody's talking nonsense. Even here, when people first come, they talk. A lot of times they're just talking nonsense. They picked up all this, all this mundane shit. Stuff that's just nonsense. It just doesn't make any real sense. What makes sense is to speak words that give you life, that give you shelter. Okay? And that's only the real truth, not to speak illusions. Speak anything else other than the shelter of the true God and who the true God is. Define all these things. Discuss the absolute truth as it is. Discuss what the illusion is so that you don't have to sit there and meditate on it and believe in it. You can shift your focus and attention onto what is real forever. This is life. That's why we come here every day and do this. Already an hour and 20 minutes is gone. It's like that. It's interesting. Yeah, it's live. You feel it. You feel like, wow, now I'm alive again. And then you get nice perspective, because then when you go through your day, you see all these dead branches out there without any life. It's nice perspective. It's good. It keeps you focused. And as we advance, you start to be, see, Lord Chaitanya came with the most advanced devotees. Some, like Swarb Damodar, he didn't care anything about this world. He was at that stage. Nothing. He would go and meet with the devotees, and it's when they disperse and do their prescribed duties, he disappeared. He didn't want anything. That's him. Nobody can imitate, but I can appreciate. It's nice to see the Lord bring devotees like that. He just didn't want to. He would go somewhere, nobody knew where he was. He just sit there thinking about Krishna and all this. And then the devotees would meet. There he was with the devotees. Otherwise, it's just the world is unimportant. And this is what we need a taste for. What is really important? Nobody knows usually. They don't know the God they're worshiping. He's an unknown God, like Paul. He said, "Hey, you see that throne, that temple? That's to the unknown God." See, but he said, "Yeah, that's Jesus." See, and then he goes to describe what he knew about Jesus. See, like this. It's the same thing. Yeah, see, Radha and Krishna. Right now, Radha and Krishna are mostly unknown by most Vaishnavas. They're worshiping an unknown God, even though they have the pictures. See, but the pictures are just 2 dimensions. It's not 3-dimensional or 4-dimensional in their lives. That's where it becomes substantial. You're actually relating to a person. You actually see, yeah, God is a person. Yeah, I have a relationship with the Lord. He's a person. I contact him personally. I call him and he comes. Yeah, the Lord's body is subtle. His consciousness is subtle. What he likes is subtle. But such subtleties are known by his intimate devotees. Yeah, that's what you get here. You begin to be able to perceive the imperceivable, the unknowable, the unattainable. That's why the Lord says, without Sadhu Sangha, without a person who knows me, good luck trying to find me, because nobody knows me. You got to find somebody who knows me, and they're very rare. See? Because the scriptures say the Lord, he's unattainable, he's incomprehensible. So how are you going to attain somebody like that, who's unattainable, incomprehensible? Only one way, and that's devotion, and most people don't have it. So go to that one rare person that has it, and then you get it, and now you can attain, and you can be like Mother Yashoda, and your rope trying to get the truth is never 2 fingers too short. Okay? People, the Lord gives himself to such devotees. You come here, and become a branch and a sub-branch here. Right? And then you'll connect to Lord Caitanya and he will feed you. He will feed you this love that we get, this knowledge that we get, this happiness that we have, this protection we got. Otherwise, you're on your own, man. All we can do is preach, right? I can advise, I can preach, I can share and say, hey, man, come here. You want life? You want this kind of life? It's here. It's available. We're preaching it. This word will give you life, man. Will give you real happiness, eternal happiness. You'll be free from the cycle of birth and death. I ain't lying. I'm not exaggerating at all. We already have testimonies that the Lord is doing this. He blesses others through his real devotees. His real devotees. You don't know what blessing is until you find a real devotee. You don't know what being really grateful is until you find a real devotee. You don't know what real compassion is until you find a devotee. Enter into this space, this expanse. Go ahead there.
As the trunk and branches were watered, the branches and sub-branches, they spread lavishly, and the tree grew, full with fruits and flowers. At first, all the followers of Advaita.
You see how the Lord watered this so the branches could spread lavishly? Yeah, he had to do it publicly, man. Otherwise, how do you spread such a thing? See? So, yeah, then the branches, became watered. Those who meant, look, you notice how more people are coming and they're getting this and they're being watered. You can tell by their testimony, by their standing up, even though they may not come on live, but they're writing down, wow, this is really great, man. I'm jumping, bouncing off the walls. See, they're taking the water and it's giving them the life like we are getting. We're part of this. And so yeah, and so as people come, they start to realize, oh yeah, this is life. Oh, I see. I didn't know before. Yeah, and so this is why the devotees, this preaching is powerful because it causes the branches out there. Everybody you could say is a branch. Everybody is a devotee, but they're living on death. They're like the zombie apocalypse. You live on the modes of nature. That's not real life, actually. The mode of passion, passion, they do it, fruit of activities all the time, and that's your life, man. It's like going like a rat going around like this, and the modes of nature pushing you every day, passionately doing these things. Yeah, or ignorant, you're just going around, yeah, see people on the street, drinking on. See, mode of ignorance is, these persons are actually they're meant to be like gods, empowered gods in this world. But you need to, even goodness is the best of all the modes, but still, you're conditioned by happiness. It's not true happiness. That's why you see Daksha didn't like the true happiness of Shiva. People that are there can be in goodness, good people out. That's why it's confusing. They think, oh, go, all right, what are you doing, man? Why you see the good people don't like you? Hey, that's contaminate. Goodness can be a contamination too. Yeah, why don't they like? Because they don't know what Shuddha Bhakti is. Devananda Pandit didn't like it either. Devananda Pandit was a good person. He was humble according to the mode of goodness anyway, but not really humble. He studied the Vedas, he preached about Krishna, but he had no devotion yet. Therefore, he was opposed to the devotees who had the real life. See, even goodness can make you offensive to what real life is, and that's the Lord's representatives in this world. They're very, different, unique, and rare. They represent the transcendental potency in this world, which is real life. There's no real life here until you're intimately and ecstatically, blissfully worshiping the Lord. That means our soul is awake and we're free from the cycle of birth and death. Otherwise, you got a worldly mind. You're meditating on the world. You believe in the worldly things. This ecstasy is the real life. And the word, the revelation, the realization that comes from that ecstatic worship is the real word. See, the real word of life. And it awakens others. The preaching of the word. The words of life. Yeah, go ahead there.
At first, all the followers of Advaita Acharya, they shared one single opinion, but later they followed two different opinions.
Yeah, so one was the opinion that comes from the level of ecstatic worship, and conclusive understanding. See, that was the right opinion. But not everybody in that association had that. See, they didn't make it to that level. Therefore, they would speculate on so many things. Just like here, there could be people that won't make it to the ecstatic level, for Krishna knows their heart, or their level advancement. And so if the acharya disappears, then you're going to have naturally two sanghas. You're going to have one who is watered by the real truth, they know the real truth, and they'll separate themselves. And the other, because you don't want the contamination, you don't want people who are not ecstatic. You'll see people here, some will come to they'll think, I'm not really interested in ecstasy, I'm just here for some other, I don't know, because I'm lonely, or I want money. They're pious for coming, but you'll know they won't be the ecstatic ones. They won't be the conclusive ones. They won't know the real path. They didn't really hear well. They won't teach the real path. See? So, but the real followers, you'll keep living on this. See? You like the real Lord. See, you like to associate with the real Lord. You hanker for that. See? You're not hankering for something other than love of God. See? So the Lord keeps you nourished like this, and you live forever. See, the others still got to learn, So we're here to clear the contamination of the false followers, of whoever wants to be cleared. That's why it's mandatory that you come here if you want this. You want to be an ecstatic devotee, because you're certainly not getting it there. I haven't seen any ecstatic devotees there in ISKCON, really. How can it be grow? The first day when I chanted Hare Krishna in ecstasy, I was chastised by the temple president. They ain't doing anything different than that. It's still the same. They haven't advanced. But see, I look at my own, look where I am now from where I started. All because I removed myself. And now I know what real life is. Now I know what real devotees are. Now I know how to keep this going, and keep that mercy going. And it's not by intimate association out there. It doesn't give the water for this. Yeah. See,
Well,
yeah. You see, we have the real teachings in the book manifesting here while we're alive and not having to wait for the confusion to come. Usually the confusion gets very confusing. See, when Lord Caitanya disappeared and Advaita and Nityananda disappeared, then the real followers separated themselves from the renunciates, the ones that are teaching now in ISKCON and all these groups. The renunciates, the fasters, they're following that path to attain Krishna. The Vaidis, see, they're following this rules, regulation path to attain Krishna. See? So they separated from them because they already had the Lord. They had Radha and Krishna. There was no need to attain him by austerities. All they needed to do is just worship the Lord in that state of mind, that mood. The others just they didn't believe it. They didn't believe in the real mercy of Lord Caitanya. See, they had to separate. But here, we're trying to bring it together now. See, this is the thing. Okay, we have a lot of history, a lot of experiences. Now let's bring it together. Let's make the false followers real followers. It can happen. They just have to have real knowledge. If anybody will, have you been false follower enough? You might be, false followers might have been following for many lifetimes as a false follower. They don't know. Yeah, so anyway, there might be some ready to know because we're teaching everything you need to know is here for that. How to become a real follower. What is a real follower of Lord Caitanya? What does that mean? What is the real teaching? What do the real followers understand and believe and know? What else can we do? Yeah, it is mandatory to become ecstatic, Sadhu Sangha. It's mandatory. If you want this to grow, otherwise you may if you may from your previous life have some development, but you're in that association, that ain't the right ground for it, Bitey. They don't like ecstasy. They have so many misconceptions about it. How many times have I been told, oh, you're not supposed to enjoy worshiping Krishna because we don't enjoy it. You should know that. There's something wrong. What is this? This is not normal, the way you worship God. Because normally we have the herd out there, in the millions of devotees, they don't worship like you. They just do the Swami stuff. What is this? You're outside that. Yeah, so this is if anybody out there, you hear this, man, you want to be an ecstatic devotee, you got to be around ecstatic devotees. Well, we don't show you what ecstasy is. Go to the no-shows if you don't want this. They're very happy not to show anything. They can't anyway, but they'll tell you, oh yeah, in the closet we're so ecstatic. Just like I have some anybody say, oh, I'm more ecstatic than Gohari. Oh, I'm more ecstatic, and you'll never see it. They just say it. It's like anything. Oh, Gohari is a saja. Lalita is a sahaja. They just say it. They have nothing substantial to back anything up. And only those who are in illusion believe them. They believe the illusionists. Go ahead, Lalita.
So, some of the disciples strictly accepted the orders of the Acharya, and others deviated, independently concocting their own opinions under the spell of Daiva Maya.
Yeah, and if you look in the word for word, it's mostly opinion in it, not order. It's a little Vaidhi. Prabhupada would mix a little Vaidhi stuff, the order, the order, the order. But actually, it's the opinion, the opinion, the opinion. Because if you have the right opinion, you hold that in your heart, bhakti will awaken. More important is the opinion. And the Vaidhi thing is the order, and Prabhupada would speak into it, but that's on the Vaidhi platform. That's why in the last part of the verse it talks about the opinion. And in the word for a word, it's all opinion. It doesn't say anything about the order, as far as I remember. And the opinion is most important. You notice people here that are, they even now you can see lots, there are devotees here that say, well, I just have a different opinion than Gohari. They think I have my own opinion. No, I declare that this is Krishna's opinion because he shows me this opinion. I can't ascertain this on my own because I follow in the book way of getting this opinion, worshiping the Lord in ecstatic devotion. He shows me these things, and I'll declare it that this is Krishna's opinion. And if you think it's different, that this is just a different opinion, I say your opinion is your opinion. That's speculation. And the proof is usually you won't be an ecstatic. Or if you've got the rays here, it'll dry up. When you're outside in this associate, you won't be able to sustain it. That's how
Lack
they
of faith.
feel. What?
Lack of faith.
Yeah. Lack of faith. And they will fall away. They fall away from the real devotees will be sustained. So even here, there are people that have a different opinion than here, and they will, and when, say, if I do disappear and this sun is here, the false followers will fade away and fall away. And the real devotees will continue on and keep this going because you're fed by the real tree of Lord Caitanya, which is conclusive truth and ecstatic love, worship. The Lord's pleased with you. There, because you stay on the order and the opinion of the real disciplic line. See, and then you become a what do you call manifestational and the real guru. And people have to come through you and get your opinion. All we're doing is sharing the opinion of the Lord and liberating people. That's why it has to be uncompromising to liberate people. If I was in fear of my life, somebody can come over here and take me out anytime. If I was in fear or I want lots of followers, would have to compromise. But therefore, I wouldn't have the happiness of delivering the opinion of Krishna, which awakens bhakti, even if 15 people get bhakti here. Hey, 15 people get it. Well, I'm not going to compromise just to be a popular guru and put on a nice sannyas thing hypocritically. No, I'd rather have sincere people. Look, to me, I'm happy as a camper, man. I got Lalita as a friend. I got Govinda. I got Janaki. I got Amy. I got Fanny now. I got Bhakti Tom. I got so many nice devotees. And they're increasing. Let them come one by one. We're sincerely worshiping the Lord, honestly, genuinely, not hypocritically, not saying that we have to be superstar devotees to get the mercy of the Lord. We got the mercy of the Lord. We deliver the mercy of the Lord. People feel it, man. That are meant to be. Their branches already. All they need is to lock on, man. And get the life, man. We got the life, and we can give it to others. Isn't it great? Fantastic, man. Yeah. Let the sincere people come and get the life. Why not? And if you're not sincere enough, you won't understand the message, and the Lord will throw you out into the false follower pile. Stay there for a while. Eventually, they'll probably become real followers. But it always comes, in some lifetime, you got to accept conclusive truth and ecstatic love of the devotee, of the person. Okay? That's the test. And if you don't, you're contaminated, man, because this is the only real thing around. If it's not ecstatic and conclusive, it ain't real. This is bewildering. There's some cheating in that. Yeah, the real true blue. Go ahead, Lynette.
Some of the disciples, no. The order of the spiritual master is the active principle in spiritual life. So the opinion of the spiritual
Yeah,
master.
yeah, yeah,
That sounds so good.
yeah. The opinion of the spiritual master. If you look in the word for word, which actually we'll do, I'm going to show you.
Shall I do it?
Um, I'll do it actually.
Okay.
Let's see, what is this? Yeah. What is this?
It's
Oh,
chapter,
yeah,
verse
12.
10. 10.
Yeah, verse 10. Okay. All right. Word for word. Acharya Raya of the spiritual master, Advaita Prabhu. Mata. Opinion. Yea, what is that? Opinion. Again, see? Mata, opinion. Sara, active principle. See? There it is. The active principle. Tanra, his. Ajna, order. Langa, transgressing. Chala, becomes. Say, ta, too, however. Asarya, useless. See, so transgressing. See, the order. There's a lot of ways to look at that. So it's the opinion 2 times in that word for word, and then it has order there. See, transgressing the opinion, you transcend the real order. See, the order of things. See, the order, and those words, the opinions are ordered in a certain way to give the right conception. You can reorder those, and that's what the devotees do. They reorder these words to form a different opinion. It's like they call it word jugglery. See? So the real order is the real opinion, the real conception taught by by the spiritual master, the real Acharya. See? So you follow that order. See, follow that order, those conceptions, those words in that order, you get the result. See, and then you're fed by the real. See? And that's the active principle of spiritual life. That's why I speak conclusively. That gives me life. It keeps my life going. They had to learn that even to do this job as being an acharya and a guru. Yeah, that's true. This has been given to me. Who else is doing this? Who else can do it? Who else can make such a contribution? See, Krishna has to be with this guy. Radha has to be here to do it. Otherwise, no one. It's impossible to do this. It's impossible to bring devotees from Vaidhi up to Raghunuga, up to spontaneous devotion. You have to be empowered by the true blue, the true Lord inside. Nobody else can. Prabhupada knew. Without Krishna's grace in him, he wouldn't be able to. No one could. Jesus couldn't do it. That's Acharya. The Lord is actually working there. You can see symptoms and signs of it. See, that's the active principle of spiritual life. It will always be the active principle in the devotee's life. See, the real conception of the absolute truth is the life of the devotee. It produces ecstasy in the devotee. That's why that awakening is. You listen to the word of such a devotee, and then you have the awakening. Radha and you get stirred up by that word. That order of words, in the right order, in the transcendental order. That's the order you need to follow. The order of the true conception of the opinion of Krishna given by his representative here, which awakens ecstatic devotion. See? 1 and 1 equals 2. You follow the right order. You follow the right conception. See? By the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat, absorbed in the mellows of devotion. The mellows of devotion are transferred to you. You follow that order of things. The order of the conception, it follows that order, and you follow that. You get the right directions. Otherwise, you don't. What? Where is that in? Are you a guru in that order? Are you following that order? That's called the truth about guru. Are you in that order there, Acharya Dev and Radhanath? Are you in that order? Are you a devotee Bhagavat? Are you absorbed in the mellows of prema bhakti? Do you have the signs and the symptoms of that? Have you transferred some of that in some of your disciples where they become ecstatic prema bhaktas? That's the order of things. That's the order of Prabhupada's books. That's the order they're in as it is. You can check it. It's right there, verse 98 through 100. Chapter 1, Adi Lila. I put those words and that concept in the right order. I didn't juggle the words. No need. And therefore, people are hearing that order of things, order of words, order of conception. That's Krishna's opinion. And therefore, Krishna result happens. Ecstatic devotion awakens. The promise of that verse happens in people. That's why I'm going to stick with this. I like the way, I like things working. I like the order of things, the opinion that awakens ecstatic devotion, that makes people real followers of Lord Caitanya, who they're people who believe in this opinion, and you can check it and become convinced. You get ecstatic devotion so easily. You attain Vrindavan so easily. And these guys are busting their butts, man. They can't make barely any progress because you're not following Krishna's opinion. You got to prove it, man. You're following Lalita Krishna's opinion. I told you right here, I told you from the beginning, you follow that order, and the result is Krishna's pleased to awaken in you forever. And others like you, Johan, he may have his faults, piss some of you guys off. But Krishna, he ain't leaving that guy, right? Lalita also, she pisses some people off, but Radha and Krishna ain't leaving her. Gohar, he definitely pisses people off, but the Lord sticks around for some reason, right? He's good for his promise. I hold him to account for his promise. I may be a prick, an asshole sometimes, a jerk, but you better keep coming and keeping this thing going. And show how merciful you are to your devotees, even though they're smucks sometimes or they're misunderstood. Get the point out there, any of you unbelievers, any of you false followers in our Sangha. If there's any, I don't know, there might be, maybe. Go ahead.
Your puzzle is always perfectly made, Guru Maharaj. There is no need to name those who are useless. I have mentioned.
I like that. No need. Oh, boy, that's volumes in that one statement. Krishnadas Kaviraj is conciseness is true eloquence. No need to name all these useless. If you're a false follower, you see, he's saying you're just one useless person. Still, you're useless. In other words, the Lord in his transcendental potency can't use you. He can't use you. You're useless to the Lord right now. He can't use you transcendentally to deliver people. He can't use you for the purpose of Lord Caitanya yet. I just say yet. Because we can get you there to be useful. That's our job, is to make useful tools and instruments for the Lord. Otherwise, you're more useless. The Lord even says, you study the Vedas, you follow your rules and regulations, and you don't develop that bhakti lata beads, that attraction for Krishna, that like what you see here, to the point of ecstasy and the tears and all that stuff. You don't develop that in this life. All your endeavors are futile. Useless. Time for the birds and the bees. You had 50 years to be useless. Transcendentally. I'm here to teach transcendental usefulness now. Not, okay, you're making pie. Okay, you distribute Prabhupada's book. Very good. Okay, you want me, the people I say, you don't give any value to, okay, so I'll give value. Okay, you distributed Prabhupada's books, man. You distributed prasadam, you built temples, and you did all these external bhakti activities. And all of that is meant to bring you here. Otherwise, it's pretty much futile because you're going to die. You're going to take another birth because you don't know what real bhakti is. And we're here to teach you the useful activities of delivering souls like Lord Caitanya did. Now that's useful, isn't it? That's, it's still another birth stuff. Here, we have another birth too. Did you know that? Another birth. Krishna's birth every day. The awakening. The being the born again. This Krishna is a born again. Born of the Word. The order. The right order of the words. The conceptions. The correct conceptions. Not the deceptions. The conceptions. The conclusive conceptions. Not the inconclusive deceptions. That's why it takes so friggin' long to get to know God. You're following the directions and the misorder of the words, the wrong conceptions, the wrong opinions. We have them right there in the book. I love it. Just present them as they are, and voila, people become liberated. Why beat around the bush? Are you tired of preaching your bullshit opinions and Charya Deves and Radhanas? Come on, man. Become a real guru. We'll teach you how to be a real guru. Come here. We'll make you a real guru, man. You'll deliver real disciples. It won't be just a show bottle. A show, prancing around the stage, looking good and everything. Hey, man, you'll do what we do. Deliver people out of illusion forever. Give them Radha and Krishna. You can see that all with your own eyes here. Oh, I forgot you're blind. God forgive you, you're blind. You're blind, guys. But you don't have to be. If you hear this word, anybody, we'll take a few of your followers. Come over here. We'll train them properly so they can convince you. You got to follow the real path, the real book Bhagavat, the real devotee Bhagavat will reveal the book Bhagavat. See, all of that you have to hear. You just have to hear from an empowered Shukadev Goswami. Just like Maharaj Parikshit. Everything is coming to becoming like a Maharaj Parikshit. See? And you have to come to the devotee empowered with conclusive truth. This is my job. It's been given to me to do this, to understand the what do you call the codes, to decipher the codes and the similes and the what do they call them, metaphors, the real teachings behind all of this stuff. People need to know that. See? Otherwise, you're just doing external. It's all hidden. It's a big mystery. God remains a mystery to you. Yeah. It's so nice to know that mystery. That mystery. Yeah. And to always, the mystery is unveiled more and more all the time. It's just amazing. It really is. Yeah. 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 So anyway, we're here to teach that. And otherwise, it's kind of just pious and you're doing stuff. But it's always to lead you to Shiksha, to get this kind of Shiksha. You got to know the happiness of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and speaking these the Bhagavatam in this world. You have to know that it's a special happiness. The Word of God gives life, protection, happiness, true happiness, eternal happiness. We'll be doing this forever. It never stops. Can you imagine going to another path? I can't even imagine it. This is too juicy, man. There ain't nothing like this. Whenever I hear people speculating, and talking about New Age stuff and every inconclusive things, it's completely boring. I feel drained. I feel like I'm being attacked by psychic vampires by giving my attention to that. I look in there and just like no energy in that. And they live.
No.
Yeah, they live. Blah 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 blah. Oh, what I was doing yesterday. Blah, blah, blah. Oh man, okay. What an austerity to listen to people. They're living off death. It's not alive. It's a modes, energy modes. That's the idea that walking zombies, they're living on death. It's not life. It's this. People think, oh, I'm a vegetarian. I got real life. No, this is real life here. Whether vegetarian or whatever you are, you eat this or that, or if you come here, you find what real life is, regardless of what you eat or don't eat. Some people get too much false ego by what they eat. They can't hear this. Better to hear this and forget about whatever you eat. I don't care. You eat bugs. If you're eating bugs and you come and listen here, oh, you're better off than a person eating vegetables. This is life. Life is the word. See, this is the life is the truth. This is why Jesus would preach stuff like this. He says, oh, what you eat goes into your body, okay, and it goes out into the ground. I mean, it's good to, if, okay, but, eat good food. It's like putting good gas in your gas tank. You don't want to put shitty gas in there. I mean, it's mode of goodness. But don't think that's going to deliver you. This is going to do this word, however you are. Just come here, listen to the word. Associate, see what God, who God is by seeing it reflected on the mirror of the devotees. It's ecstatic worship, these conclusive truths. This is the word that our Father, who art in this world by the word of the devotee. Forget about him being in heaven. Our Father who art in heaven. No, our Father, where are you in this world should be your question. Well, that's the word of his real emissary in this world. Can you recognize? Can you recognize that Father's authority in this world? Can you recognize his word, his shelter, the word, the promise of the Lord? Go ahead.
So there is no need to name those who are useless. ISKCON and Bodhisattva.
Yeah, there was no name, but now there is a reason to name, because it's time to expose, because otherwise we don't name it, therefore you can't get rid of it. Was it got to be more, continue that book to be more of a secret? Well, I'm sorry, there's no need to name anybody that's useless. Well, we need to do it because the highest truth is reality distinguished from the useless. See, reality is ecstatic worship and conclusive truth about Guru Tattva. If you're not following Guru Tattva, you don't enter the kingdom. You have to have the real conception of Guru Tattva. You got to know where Guru Tattva isn't. So right now, there's a need to name the useless, because they had names even back then. He could identify them. He left that work for the
For you.
Narottam and Srinivas. They would identify. Man, that's false follower over there. Hey, real followers are like this. They had to show you. You had to live. Oh, if I look over there, you got to know. Oh, because you can say you get this ecstasy here, right? Oh, wow, this is great. I can't go hard, and then you go right over to the false followers. They haven't been identified. You don't have an ID on them, right? And then you get polluted. You lose it. And why did I lose it? I don't know. Well, they haven't been identified. Even in the world, don't they identify? You want to identify who robbed that house, who robbed you, right? You got to identify the culprit. Can you identify that person? Can you identify that face? Facial recognition they've got. Identify, this person did it. Oh yeah, who took your bhakti in this world, man? Who's your obstacle? Radhanath, does he have it? Is he one of those? What about Acharya Dev? Can he deliver you really? Does he have the right conception he's preaching? Is he delivered? Does he have the symptoms of being delivered? Wow, I thought playing the piano and giving a nice class, and talking nice. Yeah, where are the wet eyes? You see any wet eyes? You see any ecstatic bliss? You see him preaching what's actually in the book. See, people, they lose the path. They can't see what's in the book because they listen to the word of a non-devotee Bhagavat. They're not devotee Bhagavats, man. Therefore, you listen to their word, you can't see what's in the book. Great illusion, isn't it? See? That's why I say you come here. You hear this word and you check it in the book. You see it's there. You go to Acharya Deva Radhanath, you listen to their preaching, and you go check it in the book, is it there? You can't do that because you're contaminated, because you believe in their words. You believe they can deliver you. Therefore, you go and you can't even see the words in the book, just like they don't see. You come here, you see the words in the book. This is more strong. See, this is real. You hear the word, you check it in the book, then you look over there. Oh, look at that. They're not teaching the real thing. See, they can't get you out of hot water. We can. You're all in it. Everybody's in hot water. You're boiling, man. You're going to be a stew. Hey, come here. We'll get you out of hot water, man. You'll be in nice, comfortable waters.
Give you a cold shower.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I have mentioned them only to distinguish them from the useful devotees.
Yeah, so see, we just had to take it. We have to distinguish them from the useful. See, you're useful when you were Satchidananda and the Lord is pleased to have given himself to you. Now you're useful for the Lord's real work. Otherwise, everything you're doing out there, just like Jesus said, everything you're doing out there is to lead you to Shagur so you can be delivered. So delivered means Krishna goes inside you now and it becomes forever thing. Okay, now you're complete, you're whole in the Lord. Okay? So all of your distributing Prabhupada's books, all that is coming to this. It's not like, oh, now that's all I need to do. No, you got to come and finish the work. You got to taste Hare Krishna mantra in ecstasy. If you're doing that now anywhere, wherever you do it, oh, well, that's wonderful. All powers to you. If you can taste ecstatic love of worshiping the Lord in ecstasy, that's great, wherever you are. But you know what? If you really are doing that, why wouldn't you want to be with other devotees? Just, we're social animals. Even in a liberated state, we're social. You think there's just Krishna up there? There's all these devotees and they're interacting. And here people are lucky. You got all these ecstatic devotees in our Sangha. This is very rare. Usually a person attains ecstasy and they go off into a cave because most people aren't there. Better to be alone for an ecstatic devotee than to be with mundane persons. See, but there's a lot of power here in our Sangha. See, that's why people are coming one by one, becoming attracted. Okay, you know what? Let's give us a word, Lalita.
Yeah, the power. The power is very powerful. It's so powerful, Guru Maharaj, when you are explaining this about this order and this opinion, etc., etc. How Krishna works, it's extremely powerful. Also, when I'm reading myself, I can't imagine. We are really, really in the best place you can. Miracles are really happening here. The way how Krishna reveals himself to devotees is really miraculous, undeserved, just because we are connected on you. It's really, 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 it's worth to come here and to keep on listening because I'm really building on the most beautiful future that I can ever imagine. I have a future now. First time in my life, I really have a future. It's so knowing actually that I'm saved. I'm saved, and it will always become better and better and better. This is this.
It's that's what it gets better and better and better. It just increases, and so the Lord. It's like Jesus said. It's my Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. That's the kingdom. It's ever increasing, and it does not have to be a place. I'm in my room, and just preaching, wherever, This is the kingdom of God. is just sharing this grace with ourselves and with others. Yeah. So it's yeah.
The way how he reveals himself when I read the same pastimes that I read last year and the year before, and then you see, my God, he's showing me more and more and more, giving me more and more pleasure. Really, he's growing up and I'm growing up. I mean, with him actually, in Krishna consciousness. This is so fantastic. This really, um, wow.
You can see how the Lord does it in the world. People, the government is big brother for people, but the government, just like our fathers and mothers, they're not perfect. They they're helping us to a degree. Government is also, they, people are at certain levels, different levels of consciousness, and they need the government because they can't function without it, even though the government is faulty. And it doesn't do it, especially if it turns on you. So it just is like that, and so now we're leading into the perfect government is to be governed by love of Krishna. That's Lord Chaitanya came in. He wanted to fill the whole universe with love of Krishna. So we're filling what we can fill, being what we are. A lot of people getting it. It's wonderful, and it'll grow as long as we can continue. The growth is beautiful. It's wonderful.
There
Maybe
is
it'll.
so much more waiting. There is so much more waiting for us now. So such a nice future that we have. That's unbelievable. Forever and ever. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's the kind of future that doesn't give you anxiety because people in the world, their futures are, they got to think, oh, what am I going to do? And they're always in anxiety because it's uncertain. Here we have assurance and it's certain because every day our future is developing. The future, past, present, and future. It's all. It's like the future is now and it's expanding. So there's no anxiety in that because it's certain. I mean, as we worship like this, you feel the certainty of it. It's like, yeah, the Krishna is always going to come and water us, and it's just going to grow and grow and lavishly. It's just amazing. Tipping point, flipping point. Yeah, yeah. Anything else there, Lalita? So sorry, River, about you not coming on there. It just happened, Krishna's will. Maybe you you were on two times today anyway. I woke up early and I said, "Oh, she's on," and then on again. So Krishna,
It's
so
her
he's in.
battery. It's her battery that's not
Oh,
working anymore.
oh, in the computer.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah. Well, you just have to switch it out. You can get new batteries for those things.
yeah.
Buy a
She
new
would buy
battery.
another one or something.
Buy a new battery, a new computer. Sometimes the battery is as expensive as the computers nowadays. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody.